What is up, everybody? I'm George Massey. So last night, 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After Season 7, Episode 16 has aired. Guys, we are at the tail end of this season. It's like one episode left. So let's check in with Jovi and Yara, who are at the tail end of their Europe trip. And it's actually time to go. Jovi's ready to go back home so he can go back to work. And Yara has revealed to us throughout the season, but more so in this episode, that she's not only not ready to leave, but she actually feels more at home in Europe and actually has been completely miserable for the past 2.5 years that she's been living in New Orleans and in Louisiana with Jovi. Now, a lot of people are shocked by that statement because if you follow her on Instagram, you've noticed that Yara is always busy. She's always doing things, taking photos, and she appears to be very happy in her life here in America, which is making people wonder, is this storyline real? Because we do know that Jovi and Yara are very much in love. They definitely are taking trips together, doing things that couples do. So this season, these problems seem a bit exaggerated. But the idea that Yara wants to stay in Europe longer doesn't seem like that much of a big deal because Jovi is actually going back home just so he could get back on a plane and leave the country and go to work for a month. Jovi does work 1 month on, 1 month off, and there are times where he was stuck 4 months at work, leaving Yara at home alone with no help, no support, no family. She does have a few friends, but she just feels alone. Now, whether or not Yara should be allowed to travel on her own definitely seems like a simple question. I feel like Yara's an adult woman. She should be able to travel on her own. Jovi should not be able to dictate where she can go, when she can go, and he has to be there to supervise her in these trips. I feel like seeing her family, seeing her mom, seeing her friends isn't anything that he needs to worry about. Yara has never given him any reason to believe that she would end their marriage, never come back, or find someone else. She never said that she wasn't committed to Jovi. She never said that she didn't want to be with Jovi. She just said that where she's living and where her life is now is definitely something that she is unhappy with. Now, I can relate in a way because I did grow up in Louisiana, and when I had the first opportunity to leave, I left and I haven't went back, and I don't really feel like Louisiana was the place for me. I do feel like Yara needs to see more of the country because I do feel like she could find somewhere that she would really love here in America. Like Karina took her out to see the mountains in this beautiful town out in Europe, and she really loved that. And I feel like we have that here as well. We can offer beautiful towns and beautiful mountains if you travel the country and see it. I just feel like this whole situation is so simple. Jovi is going to be out of the country for work. Yara should be able to leave the country to go and see her mom. Nobody in this situation is hurting in this decision. I feel like Yara has been away from her mom for 2.5 years, and her mom, Olga, had only met Mila this one time on this one trip. So extending the trip doesn't seem serious because Jovi, again, is going back home to hop back on a plane to leave the country again for a whole month. So whether or not they can get past this, I'm not sure. I feel like they can because it's not that serious. Jovi is going to continue working 6 months out of the year away from Yara. Yara should have the opportunity to go and see her family on those times when Jovi is not going to be there. Yara needs help. Yara needs support. Jovi has decided to take a job that keeps him exempt half of the year from helping Yara around the house, raising Mila, and doing things that a husband would do. Yara is only looking for support and love and companionship, and she's unable to find that in her marriage. So hopefully they're able to figure out a way to make Jovi more present in this relationship. Yara would not need to leave the country and spend so much time away from him and away from the country itself if he was physically there with her more. All right, guys, I'm George Massey. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms at George Massey and at georgemassey.com for all your 90 Day Fiance news, interviews, and updates.